From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 on Fox 43.
We begin at 8 o'clock on Fox 43 with breaking news in Portsmouth, where crews battled 2 fires overnight.
The first happened just after 1 this morning at an apartment on Riverview Avenue near Naval Medical Center, Portsmouth. Everyone got out safely. We don't yet know what started the fire.
About 15 minutes later, crews rushed to a second fire on Harvey Street near Town Point Road in the Churchland area. And that's where 10 on your side's Kiana Patterson picks up our coverage. Kiana, what do we know so far?
Well, Katie and Don, fire crews tell us that one woman was inside of this house when that fire was going, but she didn't make it out okay. This is what is left of the house. You can see the roof has collapsed into the house, and if you come through and look through that front door, you can see straight through the house. Also, much of the ceiling is inside of the house, and now it is condemned. Now, check out this video that 10 on your side viewer Dylan Hyman sent us of the fire. You can see crews battling those flames. They got here around 1:15, and this is Harvey Street. Neighbors say an elderly woman lived alone inside of the house, but she didn't make it out okay. Also, no firefighters were hurt. Heyman stayed here on the scene, and that's where we talked to him. He says he was driving on Highway 164 when he saw the fire. He says he drove around until he found the house, banged on the door to make sure no one was inside, and then he called 911.
It was a little flame, and then this part of the roof just collapsed and just went up. To see an actual house just go up, I was shaking. I was shaking.
And again, those neighbors that live just next door are calling him a hero. They said had he not stopped when he did, this fire could have been much worse because their family of 13 people were asleep just a few feet away. Coming up in just 30 minutes, you'll hear from them. For now, in Portsmouth, Kiana Patterson, 10 on your side.
Another fire is breaking news this morning, this one on the peninsula. 3 people are out of their home now. Crews quickly controlled this house fire on Oak Avenue in Newport News just after 5 o'clock this morning. No one was hurt.
Also breaking this morning, a driver is in custody after an overnight police chase. Chesapeake police say the chase began near Campostella Road and Liberty Street around 1:20 this morning. Police say the driver took off through the Berkeley area of Norfolk going 100 miles an hour. Norfolk police got involved and say the chase ended 10 minutes later on Granby Street. No one was hurt. We're working to learn more about the person in custody.
As we learn more about all of these breaking stories, the fires and the police chase, we'll be sure to bring you updates. Look for push alerts from the WAVY News app throughout the day. Today, lawmakers will continue working to beat the clock and get a funding compromise signed into law before midnight Friday.
That's when the government could partially shut down again. Right now, there's a bipartisan border security deal on the table, but it's not clear yet if the president will sign it. That's because the deal falls short of Mr. Trump's requested border wall funding. His initial mandate was over $5 billion. Now, the agreement on the table includes nearly $1.4 billion to cover roughly 55 miles of new barrier.
After speaking about the deal with Senator Richard Shelby last night, the president tweeted, looking over all aspects, knowing that this will be hooked up with lots of money from other sources.
The president's tone and conversation was very good. Concerned that he didn't get everything he wanted, and I told him I shared that. We all do.
Earlier Tuesday, President Trump said he was not happy about the agreement. He went on to say he doesn't think there'll be a shutdown, which will ultimately be up to him.
With the looming potential for a second shutdown, parts of the government are still working to recover from the last one. That includes the IRS. The department is dealing with a massive backlog. That's according to an internal report from the National Taxpayer Advocate. That's an independent organization within the IRS. The report says most taxpayers who call the IRS to make payment arrangements wait an average of an hour and a half. Even after the shutdown ended, more than 93% of callers couldn't speak to a live agent. Despite federal employees working overtime, the IRS says orders on some W-2 and W-3 forms are backlogged and won't ship until mid-February, even though employers were required to file them by January 31st.
A Suffolk student is facing charges after police say he filmed a staff member, then shared the video with classmates. 18-year-old Ladarius Timmons is charged with unlawful filming of another and disseminating a videographic image with intent to harass. A school administrator at Lakeland High School alerted officers to the incident back on February 5th. Police arrested Timmons February 8th.
2 adults are out of their home after a condo fire in Williamsburg. It happened just before 5 last night on Priorsly Lane. That's not far from the intersection of Colonial Parkway and the Merrimack Trail. Crews put out the fire in the living room near a fireplace. Investigators are still working to learn what caused the fire, but they do remind you to always be safe when using your fireplace.
Our time now is 8:05, and still ahead this morning, talking peace while building for war. What a new report says about North Korea's arsenal of weapons.
And the rain has moved out across the area. We'll see more sunshine into this afternoon, but how long is this pattern going to last? It looks like some more rain on the way for the weekend. I'll time it all out for you coming up after the break.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 on Fox 43.